Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Speedy, how are you doing, my friend? Okay, so let's have a look. We have had some news earlier on this morning. See, core CPI, which just gave us a little bit of a spike up, but we're clearly just ranging at the moment. We did have that channel with a break, and now two pushes down to a new low. Chris, how you doing, bud? So let's see how we get on today. So I'm still $60 away from a payment on one of them, so I managed to keep my composure and not come back. So for the last 2 weeks now, I haven't traded before 2 p.m. and I haven't traded after 6 p.m. UK time, so I've managed to stick to my rules, and I haven't broken them at all, and I feel good actually. For the first time, I'm actually starting to actually do what I'm saying I'm going to do. Indy, how you doing, bud? So all good. We have got some more news at 3 p.m. UK time. It's about 30 minutes. And then we're free for the day then. So yesterday, our day yesterday, I felt, we did have a little bit of rally later on in the day, but the trouble is when it does that, and it always tends to do that at a certain time, it does it a lot, that. It just tends to sort of off it goes. And if you can manage to catch that, but there's no real indication, is there really? We just push up, we have a little bit of a pullback. You don't know whether we're going to come back, and then it just takes off. It doesn't come anywhere near the EMA until just before the close. So let's have a look here. So market is just opened. We've had this breakout. It is rangy, but there is a channel with a break and two pushes to a new low. So I just want to be a little bit cautious here that it doesn't turn into a bigger channel. So if I decide to go long and it triggers me and comes down, because there's always that possibility that there is something bigger brewing. Yeah, it certainly could be. It's hard to tell, really. So if I'm going to fade that, I think that may be a slightly risky move. It's hard to say, but just for now, I'm going to leave it there where it fit nice. And let's just play the game where we are at the moment. See, there is a second entry short there. Let's have a look here. But after this and two pushes down to a new low, that's when it can usually reverse. Now, whether it will or not, it's hard to say. So we've gone up once, twice. Let's see if we get a triple test. But there is a possibility that we could be coming down there. Let me just put that there. So at the moment, it's fitting. So let's just be a bit careful here. Yeah, this is coming down by the looks of things. I was hoping we may get a triple test. We may still. No, maybe not. Yeah, we did have that big rally, didn't we, yesterday? It came up, 80? Came up about 50, 60, 70 points, didn't it? Something like that. Yeah, I was hoping we get a triple test before we came down, which we didn't, unfortunately. But there we go. So let's just see what that NQ is doing. Yeah, there is a bigger channel there, I think. Yeah, just throw a quick glance at the NQ. Couple of touches there, touch. So for me, this is a channel. Now, having said that, we've had two pushes down and maybe tried. So when I say this is a channel, we've gone from using a wider channel to just this little bit. Usually when it does this, it has a break. It's getting a bit weak. We're not getting that full push down motion. So whether we get a break here and some more downward stuff, I'm not so sure actually. So actually, let me just put that there. That is a bit early, I think. Let's just keep an eye on this. Two legs up. Are we getting a triple test? I'm not so sure now whether I'd want to go short. Because we've had a break, two pushes down, and we have come down and made another low. Yeah, this is pushing up, isn't it? Let me just see if I can adjust this and it fits. It's a bit hard to say that. We've only really touched it twice now, so I think the safer option is it may just be retesting this. There is a possibility. Let's just put that back there a minute. I'm just seeing if it's retesting this underside before it comes down. See, on the NQ, that bigger channel is fitting and this is a break. So I think there's a good chance this could come down here. Now, that's a good sign. I'd like a second entry long, triggers and then comes down. Let's get rid of that now. So we got a channel. Chad, how you doing, buddy? Impact News. Yeah, I've got a thing up here. I keep forgetting. Trouble is, when you're that focused on this. Yeah, 25 minutes. So let's just have a look at this. Are we going to push up? Are we testing the underside of that, or is it? I think it probably is the sort of upper side of it. That's very tempting.
Order submitted.
Okay.
Order cancelled.
I thought we were going to go second entry long. It's just we've pushed in and we're testing the bottom of it. Pushed down there, picked up some buy orders. Excuse me a sec. Okay. Once, twice, three times. Is this a failure? One, two, three. There is a triple test there. My slight concern... Okay, that's working, I think. I think this is going to go up now. It's all right. My slight concern is, yeah, I'm just not ready to go long at the moment. I want to see just a little bit more confirmation, so let's just put that there. That finish fits nice there, actually. Yeah,
Order
I actually like
filled.
that now.
Order filled.
Beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. I like that. We've got 1, 2, 3 bars touching there. For me, that was going up. So you took it for 6 ticks. We got one. It is a triple test. And then when we had that bar, for me, we got 1, 2, 3 touches. We've come in and we've bounced along that underside there. So have I? Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, yes, okay. It's all right. I thought I was $2 under. I'm not. I'm $9 over on the 55. So that is a payment in the bank. Fantastic. I feel brilliant now. I'm really pleased. So I'm in a good place now. So excellent. Okay, so the bit that was concerning me on the NQ is this. We've got this bigger channel down here, and we had this push up, and it looked like we were going a bit sideways there. Sideways. My daughter keeps telling me off for calling it sideways. So my concern was we were going to come down and break the lows. Now, there is the possibility of maybe it's just this, and we've had a couple of pushes down and another retest. So while I have conflicting pictures, I'm just a little cautious, but we've had a leg and a leg, so I'm happy with that. The fact that it's come down, I'm not concerned with. I just want to know where it's going in the interim. But that is a measured leg. Just under, actually. It's about one, maybe a point under, something like that. And it isn't finished yet anyway, so good. My second entry long was a good bull bar. Yeah, what I like about it, and we know it does this a lot of the times, it'll push up, it'll go sideways until it finds some support, and then it'll push up. So really looking at it, it's just a bull flag, and we've got 1, 2, 3. It's a triple test. It is a bullish bar, but I'd like it to be just a tiny bit higher. But we're going to be trapping some shorts there, and when that one appeared, to me, it was just going to push up then. So where did I actually get in? Yeah, way higher than I thought. I mean, that was quite a big risk. I'd have put that under there. So it was a 4-point risk, which is a lot more than I fancied. But I see this all the time, and it just goes like that, and then off it goes. So it was a slightly more aggressive trade, that, not getting in there. But what I will say is if you look at the Penguin guy, he'll wait for it to move before he jumps in. You know, once you've got that and that, chances are then it's going to go, because you've got 3 bars testing that. Chances are it's going to go. Now, you know, we may take let's say we take a second entry short, maybe here, this one here, say, the Penguin guy will wait for it to push through the EMA, then giving him the indication it's coming down, and then he'll try to get it on a limit order, whereas we may take a signal bar over here. So that was kind of waiting, hit and reverse. Yeah. And the fact that we pushed up, we bounced once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times along the upper side of that lower range. For me, that was another reason why we were finding the tops were a little bit staggered here, but they were pretty flat there. So we got 1 perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch. So there's 5 perfect touches there. There's only 1, 2 there. These are at different levels, so the support was strong there. And then when we had that bar and that bar, I don't mind risking 4 points, because, you know, that's when it starts to find support along the side, and then off it went. But we don't need to know that it's going to come down and go somewhere else after. That doesn't really, it's irrelevant really, unless we're planning on trading it right to the top. Hidden reversal after a break, second leg down, yeah. Hey Sam, how you doing, bud? I didn't recognise you there. Have you changed your little logo, have you? You have recently, have you? So I've got another payment in the bank, so that's good. I'll show you my accounts at the moment. So everything's looking nice and rosy. So that one's just passed by $9. Back to black, yeah. I like it, mate. Black's in. That one's at 1,600. That one's at 1,500. I've got two that are just over 550. So they're starting to build up nice anyway. I only took 6 ticks. Normally I'd go for 2 points there, but in all honesty, it's nice to just get these. For me, when you start to make money, it's a slow build. I don't think you can go from getting one payment every 3 months to getting 10 payments a month. I think you've got to gradually work up to it, because once you starting to withdraw the 10s and 20,000s, excuse me, that has a little bit more of emotional effect on you, I think. So thanks, Speedy. I appreciate that, mate. Cheers, Sam. Yeah, it has a little bit more of emotional, effect on you. So I'm just taking my time and building them up nice. I'm not in a rush. And for the first time, although I wanted to pass that one, I'm not adding money up over months. I'm just thinking about trading the chart one day at a time. I wrote myself a new set of rules. It's a trading plan, which I'm just trying to make it a little bit more professional. It might be a bit anal, but I've put like the dates and where I sign at the bottom, just to say I followed the rules and so on and so forth. I've set myself some trading, because what I will say, and I don't know about you guys, when I've revenge traded in the past, it's been later in the evening. UK time, I tend to come back. You get either a bit greedy, that you want more money if you've had a good day. You may come back and see if there's any trades because you haven't taken a trade, or you want to come back to recover. Maybe you've had losses. So this to me looks like it's going up. So if we can see, let's have a look at this. So we got a channel with a break, a little bit of support again, and a push up. If I can get a high low here. But yeah.
Order submitted.
I think it is just building up. I think if you go up too quick, it gets the nerves of you. I mean, if you listen to what's her name talk, the Alpine guy, he still says he can't believe it. But I think he's handling that sort of money pretty well. By the way, this GAT is much worth the money. Brilliant. I was going to ask you about that, mate. It crossed my mind a couple of days ago. If you ask, do you know what it is? Is I don't think it's, what's the word? Someone said to me when I first started mentioning it, it's not really high low that. Oh yeah, well if you haven't got the mental strength, then you shouldn't be using it. The trouble is, I think in a way, yeah, I'm leaving that.
Order cancelled.
It's a shame actually, because that's working nice on the NQ. I think it's going to work. Blown there by that. Yeah, absolutely. It's, what is it? It's UK. I think it's 350 euros, which is £300 and about $375. But yeah, if you pay for 3 accounts, say $140, and you lose 3 accounts, you've covered your losses. But if anybody else is thinking about that GAT, do you know what, Speed? You should do a video about that, mate. I don't know if you've ever done a video, but there's a lack of videos on the on YouTube about it. A real lack of videos. I don't think there's anything really. But I know they had problems with it initially. I spoke to Nutty about it maybe a couple of months ago when I was thinking about it. And he said a couple of things he had a little bit of an issues with. And then I spoke to someone else who was using it, and they said it's been solved. They've sorted it out. I don't have YouTube gear. Mate, to be fair, you don't need a lot. You need a microphone. You can use your earbuds or anything like that. You download OBS for free, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward. But even just a chit-chat in here, mate, how you getting on? But if anybody else is struggling, I personally don't think, someone said to me, oh yeah, you need to have self-discipline. The trouble is when prop firms are almost giving away evaluations, they make it very easy to pick up bad habits. So I don't blame traders for having these bad habits. I sort of blame prop firms in a way for giving them so cheap and making them almost like, it's like sticking 10 cents in a slot machine type thing, isn't it? You can just fire them in, can't you, without even thinking about how much you're spending. So if it gets you out of a bad habit, I think it's brilliant. At the end of the day, look, when we first learn to ride a bike, you don't just start on two wheels, do you? You use stabilizers just to help you start to find your feet. So I think it's a good idea. So if you are struggling and blowing accounts, I would absolutely say get that Guardian Angel, because you can set parameters to stop you trading. And I've noticed as well, I saw a video, you can even click the settings to hide the Ninja script so you can't delete the program and then trade. So it really stops you from trading, and that's what you want. Someone that literally says you can't trade, I'm switching your machine off, I'm taking away the key type thing. Yeah. I was exactly the same, Speedy. I think because the trouble is when we're trading, all we tend to think so much about is the emotional side of it, because it affects us so much. But you forget all that time you're going through those emotions, your skill level is constantly getting better. And it happened with me, and you sound a lot like the same as me. Your skill level gets to that right, gets to a good balance before your emotional level does. And it is frustrating when you're thinking, I can win trades here, but when I lose one, the emotions affect me and I blow them. So you can make money, but it's keeping it, and it gives you that. That's why I think it's a good piece of software. It gives you that ability to be able to make your decisions in the cold light of day. So I can't trade after this. The computer stops me after 2 losses. So you can literally, it's like having a great big burly guy there with a lump hammer that's going to wrap you across the knuckles if you carry on trading. You ain't going to do it, are you? So that has gone there. I thought it might do. So I think it's brilliant, mate. And like you say, you blow 3 accounts, it's paid for itself. And that's even without taking any payments. So no, I think it's brilliant. So good on you, mate. It is, it's when I first mentioned it on the Facebook group, I had a couple of negative comments, but the trouble is, we need to get out of, we're human beings and we're creatures of habit. We fall into these certain ways of doing things. So has the news gone yet, is it? I know it hasn't. We have certain ways of doing things. I'm just going to put my mouse out of the way. So I think it's great to get you out of habits. It's interesting how you feel, Speedy, when you realise you can't trade. Have you still got the emotions and the desire to do it, or does it sort of go away? What trade did I take? Sorry, mate, I haven't marked it. Where was it? Was it here or here? It was here, wasn't it? Sorry. I took that one there. I waited for that to close and then took it above there. Knowing when I know I can't trade anymore, I'm accepting it. The thing is, in your mind, there's nothing you can do anyway. So, no, good on you, mate. It takes nerve to do it, to admit to yourself that you're admitting to yourself that you've got a problem and I'm struggling to control my emotions. So you've already admitted to yourself, I need a bit of help. And that's a good thing, because some people can be stubborn and go, no, I'll manage it. I think it's a good idea to do it. And at the end of the day, you save yourself 3 accounts, it's paid for itself. So, I mean, even just later on down the line, for some reason, if you're not in the right frame of mind and something goes wrong, it still stops you from trading. Accepting the loss, and I'm truly on to get it better for the next day, yeah. I used to jump in it, yeah. I tell you what, when you're doing it, you think you're the only ones that doing it, aren't you? But when you're not, I'd say very few people can pick this have the emotional strength to do this from an early, from soon on. There are people that can do it. There are people who are just focused in life and massively in control of their emotions. But in all honesty, 98% of us aren't. You lose something and you panic, don't you? You want it back, especially money. Money grips us all by the balls, doesn't it, really? So that was like a triple test. I actually wasn't a massive fan of that bar. Well, it was okay. It was clear what it was doing, but I waited for that one to push. Oh no, is they feeling less? No, absolutely. My wife used to say it to me. I used to say, I'll blow another count. Well, she said, but why? Why do it? And you try to explain to people. And she went, well, just walk away. And I'm like, until you've tried it and it has that emotional grip around your throat, it's almost like someone that's got a hand around your throat and a hand around your bollocks. You just can't do it. It completely takes over you. It is fight or flight. You go into panic mode. But people, unless you've tried it, there's no way you know what it's like, because this is not something that every person goes through. It's not. It's not. Sorry, it's not. The type of emotions everybody has every day. It's kind of a unique job, really. Absolutely, it is. I mean, it's way harder than I thought it was. Not so much the skill. The skill surprised me how long it takes, but learning the skill is more just a time thing and a formality, whereas the emotional side affects you as a person. When I told my wife, I think I finally got these emotions sorted, her words were, thank God for that. I used to dread you coming down from the computer. I wouldn't be nasty with her or funny with her. I would just be quiet and grumpy, and she could tell. But yeah, it is a tough business. But, I remember reading, what's its book? Or seeing one of his lectures. The guy, the main guy. It'll come to me. He's passed away now, sadly. The trainer, the one that we've all got his books. I remember reading his book or watching one of his lectures, and he said, when you can that's it, Mark Douglas, when you can trade and you can sort the emotions out, trading becomes easy. It's just a normal job. You turn up, you do your job just like any job. There are jobs that are difficult out there that take time, but at some point you're going to hit a level where it's just going to become like a job that you've been doing for years. It's never going to have this emotional hold on you for the rest of your life. It's impossible, because you'll get used to it. Did you know where Black Trading stopped streaming? Yeah. How you doing, Dean? Yeah, Speedy. Dean was the one who mentioned about Guardian Angels, because, Speedy's using it as well, so... somebody mentioned, I think he'd lost his mother. His mother had passed away, so he's taken some time. So yeah, it's a sad time, innit? My mum passed away about 15, 16 months ago, so it is tough on you. I carried on trading, but it was the worst thing I did, actually. I think when my mum passed away, I had my first 3 losing days in a row, so best thing when something like that happens, just to get away from the charts. But he'll be back, no doubt he'll be back. But yeah, no one wants to hear that, really, do they? But yeah, he'll be back. Yeah, it is hard, isn't it? But unfortunately it happens. We all go through it. It happens to us all at some point. But yeah, I think from a trader, because it is such an emotional business, especially in the early days. I don't think it's been trading that long, as a year, 18 months or something. It definitely affects you emotionally. There's no two ways about it. If something's tough in your life, it does affect you. You get better at it. The emotions don't affect me now. They probably still do to a degree, but not that I lose control anymore. But yeah, if you got something like that, a loss of anybody really close, especially a parent, especially your mum. Your mum's your mum, isn't she? And it's kind of like the closest one of your parents. I mean, my stepdad passed away years ago. I was 21. And my dad passed away when I was 3. So my mum have had a couple of losses in her life, but and she's gone now, cancer, which gets so many people. So I notice you are doing well without Guardian Angel. For me, can't trade without it. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. It's a tool. You can't bang a few nails in without a hammer, mate. You can turn up and have all these fancy what's-it guns, but ultimately, nothing wrong with a nail and a hammer. They work pretty well. But I'm guessing in time, mate, all you're doing by doing that is giving you chance to get used to the emotions while having that security of not blowing accounts. So in my opinion, you've made a smart decision by doing that. At the end of the day, it's a business decision. If it's costing you money, then what do? You look for a way, you look for some sort of tool to help, cure those losses. And that's exactly why it was designed. It's a great bit of stuff. In fact, when I first heard about it, I thought, oh my God, that's going to destroy the prop firms. But I've not heard anything about it. I thought I'd have heard something from maybe one of the prop firms that they're stopping using it or some weird stuff like that. But no, I haven't. IPA is 6 months. Good on you, mate. I'll tell you what, that's unheard of. I'll tell you what, I bet there's very few people out there with a 6-month-old PA. So it's clearly working for you, mate. So good on you. Yeah, it's weird, Dean. I remember talking to you. I think it was you and John I was talking about it. Was it about 5 weeks ago now? And I remember talking to Nutty about it when I first heard about it. He made a video and he went, oh, I only use it to stop me trading past the end of the day now. I had a few problems with it. Well, all bits of software, new bits of software have little teething problems, but then, you and John said, it's fine, no problem. So when I heard that, I had this big sort of blanket come over me where I relaxed. And it was like, finally, I've got the answer to my prayers, And then for some reasons, it just, those emotions just went away. So, just by deciding to buy it, just twisted something in my brain. So, and I started relaxing, and then I had a loss, and I was still relaxed. And then one day, a couple of days later, I had 2 losses, and I was still relaxed. And it's been like that ever since. It's been 5 weeks now. In fact, I should write down the dates actually. So, it's nice to know when things change. The trouble is, when it's happening in your brain, you can't physically see it. So it's just something that changes. Where's this news? Oh, we've had it. What was it? Revised usually consumer sentiment. Okay, so nothing really happened. No, good on you, mate. It's smart thinking, that is, if there's something available which stops you blowing accounts and helps you break habits. If you're a smoker, what do? Some people can just give up, but other people use one of those vapes, or they'll use the chewing gum, or, if you need something to do a job, you look for a tool to help you to do it. That's why things are out there. And that's a smart decision, rather than just keep doing the same thing and blowing them. It is a little bit pricey as a piece of software, but if you work out, if you save yourself 3 blown accounts, it's more than paid for itself. So no, I think that's smart. Listen, guys, it's a bit early, but I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I've been doing quite a lot of talking, which is unusual for me. No, it's not, is it? My mouth's got a bit dry. So we're up a 1.5 anyway, so I'm just going to let this ride. So I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so that is working nice actually with the break of the new high. So I'm wondering whether this is a spike in a channel, actually. Maybe that is a bit of a spike in a channel from there. Touch, 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 one touch, two touch, three touch. The reason I like it is it touches perfect on the top. Now, at the end of the day, if it bounces at the top of this range, the fact that it's still in the channel shouldn't really make a difference. It doesn't always make a difference. So, it's been a while since I've turned in. What's the indicator overnight lows display when hover over candles? So let me look at that again. What is the indicator for the overnight? Sorry, I'll display when you hover over the candles. Oh, this thing here. Okay, so it'll be this. I'll tell you, mate. Hold on a second. Wait a second. It is called. I think that one's called Chart Enhancer. Let me just double check. Here it is. Negative and positive. Yeah, it's called Chart Enhancer, that, mate. Where does it come from? It comes from a company called Algotech. Can you see that there? And it was free. So search for Algotech Chart Enhancer, and it's free of charge. Also, if you're interested in this, if anybody's interested in this, then this number next to the current bar just tells us what it is in points. You can change it to ticks. And that one is called Bar Size Counter, and that is by TickTech. And if you want that, it comes from ticktech.com, TickTech.com. You're welcome, mate. So that's another useful tool. And another one I use as well is called Order Line Decorator. And what that does, I'll show you on another chart. If you haven't got this one, it's useful. Let's just put my sim on. Let me just toggle that off a minute. So I think I've got it on this as well. All it is, this is if I buy a sim.
Filled.
Let's spread it out. Oh, it's not doing it there, is it?
Stop filled.
borderline decorator. Doing points. No, let's do it currency. Let's leave it there. So if I apply that and then buy again.
Order filled.
Why isn't it working?
Target filled.
Okay. I don't know why that's not working. What it basically does is when you open a trade and you have your price line there, it has another little box to the left which tells you your profit you're going to make based on where the current take profit is, and your risk based on where the current stop is. It tells you an amount in money. Because sometimes if you want to adjust things to take a certain amount of profit, you got to work it out per tick or per point or by this, you know what I mean? Adjust it, but whereas that, and that's free as well. How do you make our trader black and white? I've got this horrible green. This thing here. Green. Let me just think. If I right click, is that showing there? And go into header and click change display, and then click either fore color or back color. Just select that and then adjust the color. I can't remember which one it is. But just select one of those and you can change the color. So right click just over this, the header here, and then click header, change display, and there's your colors. You can change font size as well, and wherever you can hide the banner as well, so you don't get the big green banner at the top. But yeah, you got full color and back. I'm not sure which is which at the moment. I've just left it. Some people turn it green, but I believe you can change it a multitude of colors. So yeah, that's just that. Let me just check my things are right now.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, 2 points, 10 ticks. Excellent. So I'm just checking.
Order cancelled.
It's working fine. Yeah, there's some useful stuff out there actually, and a lot of it's free as well, which is always good. Brilliant. Anytime, Chris. Anytime, mate. But yeah, if you look up here, I've got rid of this. You can get rid of the header as well. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's see how we figure out here. So change display. Let's show full color. So let's change it to red and see what happens. Okay, so that changes your what's it? So change display. So I'm not trading at the moment. Let's go back color and let's change that to dim grey. Oh, and that changes this. Okay. I know what you mean. The green color there. Let's try again. Fore color, back color, back color. Yeah, you'll have to have a play around there, bud. I'm not sure. Just have a little play around with it. You'll figure it out. Change display. Fore color was black, wasn't it? That should put me, yeah. Back color, yeah. Just have a mess around with it, mate. I forget who it was who told me. I think it was Wilson, actually. I couldn't figure it out myself. And back color we had as grey. Let's just put it as white. Excellent. Yeah, have a play around with it, bud. You'll figure it out. As long as you know where to get into. Yeah, it's all custom. All this is customizable, isn't it? There's all sorts of stuff you can do. Okay, we are finding a bit of support here, which I suppose was inevitable. What I want to find out is how to get all this to total underneath it. I'm sure I saw somebody which it totals up, just to find out what you've made total for the day. I'm going to have to play around with it. I've not messed around too much with all this stuff. with the colours. I've done it once or twice, but I couldn't remember how to get this green. I did figure it out once, but you can play around with them if you like that. So I kind of do. I like messing around with stuff. I'm always changing things and what have you. So leg to leg, are we going to continue up to the tops? See, if this is ranging, which it kind of looks like the bottom, we've had a break out of it. So we may get a break up here. We've had sort of 2 legs down, 2 legs up, a bit of a correction and up again. Do you know something? That NQ, that channel looks ongoing to me. Touch, bunch of touches there, touch there. That to me looks like it may continue on up. So that's a real nice bullish bar there. Confirming this. My only slight concern is we've come up to the same level and we've had a leg down, so we could get another leg. Now, it depends how people feel about what to do when we get up here. So we could have 2 legs down. It may work, but I'm just not a fan of what I'm seeing here at the moment, because we've sort of pushed up twice now to the same level. So it's like we've been up once and we struggled again, so maybe we need a correction. It may work. I mean, it's more or less off the entry point, that, isn't it? And it kind of looks like a leg and a leg, but if ever it is like a second entry long. But if ever we get this and something doesn't feel right, I'd rather wait for the higher low. And if you take that higher low, it just rules out a lot of the risk. Still don't like it. There's a leg and a leg. It looks like a mini bull flag, leg and leg. I still expect this to come down. I'd like to see a break here. Because we've been up once, we've been up again. It's continuing on up, isn't it? I'd like to see a leg and a leg. Come on down. Okay, maybe it's going up. Okay, leg. I need another leg. It's struggling to get higher. It did here, so for me, I'd like a leg really. 1 leg down and maybe something like this. That NQ to me looks like we're moving higher. We're above the range in the NQ, so I think this is going up. And if it does, I'd like to see a bit more of a correction there. That NQ is above any possible range. So depending on where wherever you put this, somewhere around about here or something. We're above that now, and we've retested. We've come down and pushed up quite strong. So for me, if we can get a couple of legs, then I'd expect that to continue on and up. But I don't really want to get into any trade here just yet until it has a chance to have something like, I want to give it a chance to come down here and stop that bar out. And maybe that one might hold. I want that bar stopping out. If it does stop out, we should get a break then. See, what I will say is there is always a possibility that we've already had a break. I did adjust my chart a while back. I had my chart down here initially, and mind you, it still doesn't fit that bad with this, does it? So maybe we haven't. Let's just stick it back. I still want that bar broken, really. That if it gets below that, it should get further down. I don't like it's going sideways here, so we need a bit more of a kind of a couple of legs, a bit of a correction or something. Really, got to get below there. If we get below there, we may get down here a bit and get more of a leg. So leg and a leg. There we go. Let's see if that holds. So there may be a second entry long there.
Order submitted.
Let's see how that finishes. I prefer to get a bit lower.
Order cancelled.
I want to get lower. Have you disconnected the PA? Yeah, I have, mate. Yeah. Yeah, don't you worry about that. That's the first thing I did. Yeah, there it's gone. I've checked, double checked, and triple checked that, mate. That's better. That's what I wanted. So I want it to hold there, and if it holds there, that is a nice correction, and for me, that's where it's going to continue on up if it goes. I just want to make sure that this closes above this line, which it is. Leg and a nice bullish bar. So if that continues up, that's great news. But I need that to finish bullish, or at least close above that line, or at least not bearish. We got a leg and a leg. And it's above here, see. Well, if it stays, well, it might not actually. Okay, that's knackered my plans. So maybe now, maybe traders are just seeing this as the top of a range, and now we're coming down. See, depending on how you've got that drawn, whether you think you've got a break about that or not. Sometimes in a range it's irrelevant because it just hits and turns and down it comes. May still go up, but I don't think it will now. It's come a bit too far, really. So we've gone up a tick off this level, and we've gone up again, and we've gone up a third time, and we've struggled, which is why I didn't want to get in a trade there. I wanted it to have a correction and then start to push again and catch it on a higher low. But the trouble is, when you get up to that level so close, it's hard to know whether traders are going to think I still want to buy up to that level. Any issues with the new Ninja Trader? I haven't updated it, but I haven't. I didn't update the last one. I put a message on the Facebook group, but the last one we've had, one of the Apex ones, and a couple of people said don't upgrade it for some reason. I don't know why, but I seem to remember someone from Apex, maybe 18 months ago, a year ago, saying don't update to the latest one because of this or that. I can't remember what it was. But I think the problem was last time it was updated, did you have to log in every time to Ninja Trader or something? So I know I saw a video on someone showing on YouTube showing you how to go back to the old settings. So I'm not really sure about that. But I'd say before you do upgrade, if you haven't upgraded yet or updated it, just get a little bit of advice first, because you don't know whether it's going to work with Rhythmic or anything like that. So, and it works fine. Is it okay? Yeah, fine. Yeah, I don't want to spook anybody if you have upgraded it, but I may even drop Apex a message and see if someone from Apex. I did message Chris Childers a while ago, but he never got back to me. So, what I'm looking for now is ideally a triple test to continue on down. Now, we could have a break and push higher, but to me, this looks like it's attempting to go high. And if we can get a triple test there, because at the moment, this is the NQ. If it holds under this line, I can see it coming down. We've pushed below it. Now it's obviously going to either push through it and back up or retest it and come down again. So just have to keep an eye on that. Even if we get a second entry short and the second entry is lower than that one, that's fine with me. Maybe something like that. Be interesting to see where this goes now. Interesting. Okay, so this then does look like a break and it is attempting to go higher. Took that high low, that one there. Yeah, I just wasn't sure. I think if it broke above that one, then I think you're going to get a bit of movement. I'm just a bit cautious at the moment. We've been up 3 times in. Each time we've got lower down. You may even consider that. That tells me we've tried, and we are trying again. So I'm just a bit unsure here. But what I will say, this is clearly, well, yeah, I mean, is it a range? It's kind of going sideways in a degree, but we have had a breakout there, if you consider that a break. And in which case we may get one here, so we may get right up here. I mean, I could take that down. It's just, I'm not sure really. Let's kind of leave it there as we got at the tops. See what I mean? That's going to get below there. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. Yeah, it's clearly struggling to get up. So I think you got out. Well, you took it. I'm assuming you got out, didn't you? What did it go for? If you went a tick above it, you'd have got, what do you usually do, 6 ticks, don't you? You're clearly out there. But that, is that going to hold? We'll soon see. 6 ticks, yeah, that was a good move, that was. Let's see if we get below there. Sometimes these do hold. If it does hold and doesn't break below it there, I think it will then continue up. Because that is right at this key entry point, isn't it? The only reason I didn't take it is because these are just, I don't know whether it's sort of capping off, if you know what I mean. So this is where I'd look for a triple test. So let's put that there. So we've come back. There's one push up. Let's get rid of that. If we're going to get a triple test here, it's likely going to break below there anyway, because I like them when they drop below and then push up and sit on top of that line. I'm still cautious because I just don't like this. We've been up here once, twice. We didn't quite get up to enough for me, really. And then this a tiny bit lower and this lower still. And then this little push up lower still. So we may not get up. It's hard to say at the moment. I don't really know. Expecting a little push, but you never know. No, you don't, do you? I do find more and more now, I just go with that. I just have a feeling. I either like a trade. If I like it, I can't click the button quick enough. And if I don't like it, something doesn't feel right. It's usually on a feeling now, rather than having to necessarily, count things. Does it follow the rules? Is it, it's more just a visual thing. Let's see if that one. So that one hasn't broken below, and that one hasn't now. So it may hold that. Yeah, I'm still not ready to go long. I prefer it to sit on top of that line. That's too far up for me. EMA's flat. It's a little bit sideways there, so we could have a leg. Yeah, I think we will. We could have a leg, sideways and a leg. So I think it's likely this could come down. It may trigger that and come down and stop these out. Let's have a look. I think we need a leg and a leg. I'm just not sure about this. Leg, break, leg. Yeah, I think that is a short, and it's going to take out that and that. I think this, if we get below here, it's coming down for me. Oh, the fact that it's done that. Let's see, there's a lower high there, which hasn't triggered. Yeah, so this is starting to get a little bit trappy, this is. What do I think is going to happen? Well, it's clearly a break, and we're clearly making an effort to get up, but look at this. This is not filling me full of nice rosy feelings. This, to me, if we can get below here, I'd say we're coming down. But this is almost capping off. I'd be interested in going short here, below there, but I'm not going to. Because this... it's a bit trappy, and if it is, it ups the risk a bit. I know what I think's going to happen. But when it gets like this... You know, my experience of when it's struggling to get up, it usually doesn't and comes down. But when I think like that, sometimes it surprises me. So, okay, so if you'd have took that short, you'd have got stopped out. That doesn't mean it's not still going to come down. We've actually made a new high now on the NQ, so that could come down. That could come down and stop out 1, 2. 1, 2, that may be a triple test. That's coming down, I think, now. If it gets below there. Trouble is, we're still above the EMA on the NQ, so I ain't ready to go short just yet. That could stop them out and turn. It is a failure, though. Yeah, sometimes I think I can work out what's going on here, and sometimes I'm up a nice winner today, so I'm feeling quite good and confident, and sometimes that can go against you. If I think I'm out smart in the market here, I know what's happening, this type of thing, but now I could say that with what I'm seeing here, but this NQ chart isn't telling me we're coming down. Not yet, anyway. We've had that break and we've pushed up. And made a new high. So having said that, there's a higher low there, which is in a dangerous position to go long. So that to me is coming down. So we've actually made a new high. So I think it will come down on the ES. But there's no entry really, is there? And when that bar came down, a tick below there, it turned back up. So we could have a leg and a leg, and then it pushes up, but I think the opposite at the moment. I think this is coming down, I do. You clearly see every time it comes up, it drops, and it's trying multiple times. So this to me is going to drop like a stone in a minute. Well, a stone might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I think it's coming down, I do. Or are we going to get 2 legs and it's going to push up? I really don't know at the moment. But my gut tells me it's coming down. But unfortunately, there's no real entries. If you'd have took the lower high, it trigger just stopped you out. Apart from that, it's stacking, so there's nothing you can really do there. I wonder if we're going to get something like that. Maybe. I'm just looking on that NQ as well, and we've had a break at this, and 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. There's a bearish bar there, which is trapped any possible longs taking that higher low, and it's triggered them and come back down. And there's another bullish bar there, which is triggered, and that's been stopped out now. So I think this is now done enough, and it's played out. So Unless we get a big bullish bar there, I think we're coming down now. So, a leg up, 2 legs of correction. This may go up. Sometimes we just needed a bigger run at it, maybe. Let's see. The reason I'm thinking that as well is we had a break, 2 pushes up, and this bearish bar, which triggered, came down, and now it's gone up and broken above that. So maybe we could continue on up. I'm not convinced we will, but so channel up, 2 legs of correction, 2 legs down, 1 leg, 2 legs. Some of that. Shorten this to there. Yeah, 1 tick off, leg and a leg, and then a strong push right through the EMA. So maybe 2 legs and a leg, so we may get up a bit higher, yeah. A couple of ticks above the current highs. I'm not saying we will. Every time we've come up to this line, we've struggled. I don't think that'll happen. We're clearly struggling multiple times to get up, so I think Well, you can see, can't you? It'll only do that so many times before it takes a nosedive. Having said that, it's a different picture on the NQ. We are still making higher highs and higher lows. So, which is why I'm not getting into any trades here at the moment. Look at that, say bearish bar, trigger below it, pushing up. Bearish bar, trigger below it, pushing up. So at the moment, this is going up a little bit easier than this. I'm not saying it's not going to come tumbling down, but we got to push out a break. To push up to a new high, a leg and a leg back, and then up again. So until I see this start to fall below here and here, and then maybe towards this line, I'm not thinking about taking shorts here, but I'm also not thinking about taking any longs, because every time we've gone up, we've come down. There may be a bigger chart, a bigger channel. This is going sideways with a slight downwards, but it's looking like it's starting to build some strength on the NQ. So we may have something like that. Maybe even from there. I'm not sure at the moment. It's a bit. Yeah, I'm still not ready to go long just yet because we are at the top of this channel where we just broke out of it actually. Let's have a look. What's going on here? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know how many times I've seen breaks and we struggle and struggle, and I'm looking for longs to get in here, and all of a sudden, wham, it comes down. But then we have 3 big bars, and we've gone up 7 or 8 points in one quick push. So perhaps it is just trying to find a new high after this leg and a leg, or is this a break with 2 attempts higher, and then it's going to turn? I think so. And the reason I think that is that looks like an overshoot on the NQ. So we've had a break. We've made 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. I think we're going to have a strong drop slicing straight through that EMA. Let's see. That bar there is triggered. So I think this is going to come down straight through the EMA. That to me is a break with 2 attempts to go higher. coming down. Drop. Come on, drop. Right, okay. This is coming down now for me, I think. This is going nowhere. This is... We need to stop that bar out there. It's struggling to go up, this is. We've got multiple attempts to go up. We've got to get below that EMA. Come on, down you come. Drop. Triple test. 1, 2, 3. Coming down. Let's trigger that bull bar and then drop. Or not. Drop. Just see if there is a bigger channel working here. Maybe. I don't know. This just doesn't look like it's going anywhere to me. There'll be some longs in there. Trigger that bar and then drop. No drop. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about today. Okay, so it's done what it's supposed to. It's had a break, and eventually, my experience of being in trades when it's doing this, I've got into trades like that before, and here all of a sudden, wham, whenever it slowly grinds, whenever I'm in a trade, it drops like a flipping stone now. So are you going to fade that as a breakout? I'm staying out of this at the moment because it's doing what I don't think it's going to do. There's a leg and a leg, maybe a failed breakout. We've pushed up, made a new high. It's just, I'm struggling to read it today. Sometimes it's easy to read, other times it isn't. I'm getting nowhere today. I did say, is there a bigger channel going from there? Well, funnily enough, there maybe is actually. Let's have a look. Okay. What's going on there? Balls. Let's put that back. But let's fade it out. Okay, so I think there's a bigger channel here, then that's why I think it's continuing on up. Leg with a correction and a leg. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's just the ES looks like it's struggling up. The NQ doesn't at the moment. That's pushing up flowing up quite freely. We had that channel there with a break. There's no holding back. The reason I was looking for that to drop is we were getting this overshoot here. And for me, whenever we sort of get that, a lot of the times it will drop. So that's why I was expecting that drop. But then it just kept going and up and up and up. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to actually knock up the head for the day. I've still got some stuff to do in the garden. So I'm up a nice $1.5, which is about, I don't know, $800 and $900 over those 7 accounts. I passed another a payment for the middle of next month, and there are some more looking, not a million miles off. That one's just about 16. That one's around 15. So I definitely feel like I'm starting to get somewhere now. As soon as those emotions start to come under control, I'm managing to walk away and not blow them. So I'm in a good place at the moment. I feel like I'm finally past those first 2 runs on the ladder, and I'm starting now to get that. Sam will tell you. There's that. What is it called? The journey of a trader. It shows this diagram, and for me, I'm starting to feel like now actually I'm starting to get somewhere. So hopefully I'm coming out of that big dip of being the dip of, what do we call it? The dip of misery or something. We'll have to come up with some names for these. But yeah, things have gone good today. I'm up nicely, 1.5 per account. And I want to have a nice weekend, nice and green with another payout. So no point in risking losing another trade or losing a trade. So look, it's been a really good week for me. Well, the last couple of weeks have been good for me. Everything's going nice. So if you're carrying on trading for the rest of the day, best of luck. I hope you get some decent setups while I've got you. Welcome, Chris. So failing that, have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll be back and we'll do it all again. We'll look up again on Monday. And just keep it in mind, this 80% off and 1 day to pass finishes on, I think it's Tuesday. Let's have a little look. I don't know, maybe not. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Tuesday. Usually about end of trading day on Tuesday. So I'm not sure. This is the longest they've had this for. I'm surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went down to 71% for a bit. But I kind of wish they'd abolish that 7 day to pass thing and just leave it at whatever it takes. If it's 1 day, 3 days, whatever, at least that way, you know, traders who can, old PAs can get in and out and get a PA on the go. And then if people want to take the time, you know, they can take the time. But we live in hope anyway. So look, have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll meet up and chat on Do It All Again on Monday. So bye for now.